All right, so now we're going to be setting the ignition. It's kind of hard to see, but I do have a test light up here on coils 1 and 4, and it's on the white wire. Not the orange wire is the common wire that's constant on. So we're not going to have that wire. The test light is on a ground, and then it's on the white wire, which is coils 1 and 4. And then what we're going to do is, you have these outer screws loose. You line up top dead center, which was on the collar of this that we put in there. So there's a top dead center mark on that for cylinders 1 and 4, and there's a top dead center line on there. Sorry, I'm saying top dead center, but you want to line it up to the fully advanced firing mark. So it's not on the firing mark. And then what you do is, so after you line up that, the collar that we just installed, or that we installed prior last night, and then you want to advance it because that's their full advance point, and then you want to adjust your outer sleeve, the magnets, adjust the plate because we're doing 1 and 4, so you adjust the plate until it's just firing barely and consistently. So if it's not advanced, it shouldn't be firing. See, I'm not sure what you guys can see, but as it rotates, it's mimicking the magnets going out at like full throttle or high RPMs. And when at high RPMs, when the crank's really spinning, the magnets will throw out, and then that will advance the timing. So you set it up on the final firing line, not the top dead center fire, but on the final firing line, and then you advance it and adjust your collar as such. And once you have that, then you want to lock it down. Make sure it's in there good, because otherwise your timing's going to get messed up and your bike's not going to run. So then we're going to go to 2 and 3 cylinders, and we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to adjust the magnets on this one. So for cylinders 1 and 4, you want to adjust the collar. For 2 and 3, you want to adjust the magnets. So we're going to crank it around. And you'll see on there, if you're ever doing this, you'll see it says 2 and 3, and it has like a top, and then it has a final firing line, which is really hard to see. I might actually take this out because it's really hard to see on this one. It's almost like it doesn't even exist. Ugh. I can't see it, which is always fun. Just to get close, we'll make a mark. We'll still test number 1 again, but it's just to get it as close as possible. You just want to make sure that is advanced properly. Otherwise, you're going to have high RPM problems where it's cutting out or it's not firing on all cylinders. Let's say you have 2 and 3 wrong. Well, it's not going to be firing at high RPMs on 2 and 3. It's just going to be firing on 1 and 4. So you're going to have power degradation at the high RPMs. All right, so now we got to take off. We're basically undoing what we did. So maybe before you put everything back together, make sure it's visible because I can't see it. So there actually isn't a line for 2 and 3. I'm going to get up so make sure you guys can see this. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. All right, so here's 1 and 4. Even that's really hard to see. You can see where it says T1. That's top dead center 1. That's like the top dead center line. The line off to the right of T is top dead center. And then there's it looks like a 1F, but that's the first firing. So that's at idle essentially. So that's firing. And then the line right above the 4 is the final firing. That's like That's the fully advanced firing. And then now if we switch it over to cylinders 2 and 3, there's the other timing mark, and then there's not a line over there that I see. There's not even a first fire order, so it's gonna make it more challenging. I gotta kind of guesstimate where it's gonna be compared to the other one. So that might give us some issues. We'll see. I thought I just needed to clean it, but that's not the case. It's clean and there's just no line there. But I'm gonna kind of eyeball and see if I can make somewhat of a line where it would be. I think it's actually right where the 470, it says 470, right where the 0 would be is where the line would be if it was the same as 1 and 4. So I think we're gonna go with that. Let's get this back in there. This is the timing mark. There's this plate you need because it has the timing mark. So, and I thought I've heard that from somebody that did this, but that it might not have it. But I saw the other stuff on there, so I was like, oh, it has it for 2 and 3, because I just saw 2 and 3. But obviously I didn't account for that final firing mark for fully advanced. So that definitely makes it more challenging. But we'll get it button back up and see how the timing. We'll see if it runs. We're doing this to get spark to all the cylinders because before we didn't. So we'll get it back together and we'll see if we got spark and see if we get this thing running. I'm sure we'll have spark now after all this, but will it run is a different story for sure. All right, so now we got to get back to 1 and 4. We got to make sure it's all in time for 1 and 4, and then we'll go to 2 and 3 and check that next. And I switched it, so we got to go back. All right, so we'll lock it down. We got 1 and 4 dialed in. And 2 and 3 is next. Double check it. Good to go. So we're gonna switch coils. And I gotta adjust the magnet. So it gives you a little Allen key to adjust the magnet. So the first 1 and 4 is on the left. You can adjust that if you need to. You shouldn't, because you're adjusting the plate for 1 and 4. So you want to adjust the plate for 1 and 4, and then you want to adjust the magnet right here for cylinders 2 and 3. So we'll take this off, and I knew we were going to adjust this. Everybody that does this install, it's just part of the process. You have to adjust for 2 and 3, so no big deal. We will adjust it and get it locked down. I did not have to move it much at all. There we go. All right, so we'll lock this down. There's little lock washers on that, so you shouldn't have any issues as long as you tighten it enough to crush those washers, the split washer or lock washer, whatever you want to call it. Make sure it's good and tight. Check these that were for 1 and 4 because we didn't adjust those. We'll check those, tighten those. You don't want anything backing out when you're spinning this thing up. I can't remember what the red line is, but when it's at full spin, you don't want any issues, I'll tell you that. All right, so I think we are in a good spot. We might even be in a good spot to get this thing fired up and see if she'll run. Oh, my area is such a mess, but we'll get it done. So let's turn that off. Let's undo my battery charger because we're just using it for testing purposes. All right, let's see if we get the first start on this thing. I'm gonna start my car up, get some more voltage and amps out of it. Wasn't our problem cylinder before. It was 2 and 3. That was our problem cylinder. Alright, so 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 are solid. Like really good. good spark actually. Oh, there goes that spark plug. The spark plugs are crap. I mean, they're ready to go. Those will be in soon enough. So we know we have spark on all cylinders, so that's a good thing, because we did not before. Starting fluid, so we're going to use some brake cleaner. It's really hard to get in here. Alright, let's give it a go. Separate carbs. I'm not sure what you guys can hear on me. Alright, let's give it a go. She was getting ready to go. She sounds alright actually. See if we could get some more fuel, because it probably all evaporated. Big old 5 gallon. There's fuel preservative in it. It's my emergency fuel, so let's get some of that in there. Whoa, that's not a good problem. That's not a good thing at all. So what happened there was, my fuel's been sitting in the garage, and I didn't release the pressure. I just opened the spout and it went everywhere because it built up some pressure. It's hot out here, so we're gonna have to let it sit and come back because there's fuel everywhere. It's not that much, but all that fumes, those fumes are more combustible than the actual liquid fuel. So that's how the fuel atomizes. It goes in the cylinders, it atomizes, and that's how it creates a very combustible mix of air and fuel. So liquid fuel, not that big of a deal, but now I just got fuel gas, you know, in the air, so it's going to be very flammable in here. So I got to shut off the engine and all that stuff. I just don't want a big issue. So we're going to come back. Sorry guys, we got it running. I have a towel kind of blocking the carb inlets because you don't like to run without an air box unless you have a jet right. So we got it running though, and see if we can burn out some of the old smoke. I mean, it's full of it. From years of sitting, we'll run for a little bit more. It's smoking real bad. On the right exhaust is smoking the most, but to do with me controlling the amount of airflow it takes to the end. We're running out of fuel. Now it's idling really well. So the carb rebuild obviously is working. It's idling just about 1,000 RPMs. It's kind of hard with the way I'm having to do this. Cylinder 1 is smoking a lot. Cylinder 2 never came alive. Cylinder 2 is the new carb, so I don't know if there's something going on with that. Who knows? And she's done. All right. So we got the ignition going, obviously. I also checked for spark on cylinder 2. Kind of burned my hands on the exhaust. I just wanted to make sure that it was actually, that each cylinder was working. That's how you could tell if a cylinder's working, for those that don't know. Maybe before you let it heat up real bad, but touch each exhaust manifold and you'll know if it's running or not, because it is hot. So the cylinders that were running, the 3 and 4 exhaust manifold, those are both running, so those are smoking more. Cylinder 1 and 2, the exhaust wasn't doing as bad, but cylinder 2 wasn't really running, so that could have something to do with the lack of smoke. So obviously it needs to be ran for a while. Next task, now that we know it's a runner, which I had a good feeling it was going to be, next task is, obviously we're still trying to deal with the registration. We'll have to buy a jet kit for pods, buy some pods, and that'll get us running right. And then it needs to run. I mean, honestly, you guys saw the smoke. It just needs to run. It needs to run and get all that crap burnt out in the cylinders. I need to see what's going on with cylinder 2. That'll be for another video. I'm happy with today. And thank you for watching. You know, I know that this is probably gonna be another long video, but this is just me and my experience and my humble, you know, learning curve, I guess you could say, with rebuilding a motorcycle. Like I said, I've never done one before, and this is my first, and maybe not my last. So you guys are kind of learning with me and seeing my mistakes, but as you can see, the wiring's kind of a rat's nest, but right now it works. That's what we want to do. We want to get it working, make sure it's going to run, and then I don't mind putting money into it. I don't, you know, once I can register, once I know that's going to be safe and sound, hey, we'll put some money into it, and we'll get the wiring tidied up, start cutting the tabs off, start getting the cafe look going, and running all the wires appropriately. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys.